Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We're Baltimore Positive. I have control of the program for 3, 2. John, you want to take over? You're good. We're here at Pizza John's. All brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery and GBMC, which is the preferred hospital of Ethan Giffin of Groove Commerce for his son, who enjoyed his experience at GBMC getting stitched up more than I enjoyed my needle and my prognosis, which is I have to choose a healthier lifestyle, but I am going to have a slice of that meat sauce pizza that John Allen ordered. John Allen has been my friend longer than he wants me to admit it. He never likes for me to say that we met each other during the Civil War in 1865, right after the Emancipation Proclamation. John's band is bands. You get 2 bands, right?
Yes, sure.
Child's Play.
Yes.
Stone Horses.
Right.
I'm not going to screw it up and say you're an SR-71 because you used to be. And I'm not going to do Charm City Devils, even though Jim Schwartz and Chad Wiesling would like that, because is that an over? I need to ask Rockstar, is that an over, or is Charm City Devils still done? It's Stone Horses now.
It's not. Charm City Devils is inactive anymore.
Inactive. Okay, all right, just making sure I get it right. Yeah. Because 2 rehearsals, 2 bands, 2 groups. New single you got out. You played last week, free gig at Auto Bar. You're in Ocean City next week with Stone Horses.
Right.
And I know I'm going to screw this up.
Free show.
Child's Play's the 30th.
It is, yeah,
right.
30th, right.
And that happens once or twice a year, special occasion.
Right, correct.
Well, I'm delighted to have you. So Essex was where Brian Jack was from.
Right.
Ethan's from Hagerstown. The first thing Ethan says is, I'm from Hagerstown. Kicks is from there.
Yeah, home of Kicks.
Home of Kicks.
Yep.
What else can you brag of in Hagerstown other than Whiteman? And you said that to him sort of knowing that there might be a relationship.
100%. 100%. Yeah,
what is your Steve Whiteman story as a kid growing up in Hagerstown?
Well, listen, as I mentioned, like my uncle was a DJ on the radio station out there at WARX. It was rock radio out there. He DJ'd with a guy named Buddy Reiser. They DJ'd every Thursday night at this very famous club.
103 The X.
Yes.
Yeah.
106.9.
106.9?
106.9, I think.
I had T-shirts. The whole band had T-shirts at one point.
And my uncle, whose name was Buddy, and his best friend, Buddy Reiser, would DJ at this legendary place called the Mountain View on Thursday nights, and they would pack the Mountain View. So I'm 51, so all of that was a little bit ahead of me. I wished I could be, out and about like that. But then I interviewed Steve. I had a TV show out in Hagerstown in the mid-'90s, and I interviewed Steve at that time when he was just starting up Funny Money. And I just did the first Funny Money album. So I love Kicks. I've had the opportunity to go to the Merriweather show, which was just I think just the chef's kiss for their career. And, and I think that
John liked that night too because he opened up.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did. And I thought it was so cool to see you guys, to see them. I mean, that
was such a special night.
And listen, Steve wouldn't know me walking down the street, but it just felt like so special to see that happen in that capacity, for them. So
18,000 people. It was a huge crowd, and in the pouring rain.
It was a bad night,
and they were all on the lawn. All these people. They stuck around the whole show because it was, that was the end.
I haven't talked to Steve since that night, and I know he's got his podcast. Get it right, podcast.
I think he's done with that, right? I think he just wants to retire,
he's retired. He was doing pizza, and now he's doing nothing. I don't know what the hell are you doing, Steve? Come give me some voice lessons, He gave me all of that over on Harford Road. But it is amazing how music brings the world together, right? Like, talk about Hagerstown. The first thing you say, there are definitely people in my world when I say, I'm from Dundalk or I'm from Essex, they will mention Brian Jack or they will mention your band or they'll mention Gina Shock. You're from Aberdeen, Cal Ripken, right? I remember, but it is amazing that Hagerstown, the first thing you would say is Kicks because
in the context of meeting
Beatles,
each other for the first time, it was like the one thing that I thought the one commonality, the one thing we could connect on, right? And so. It is, and it is a Hagerstown thing, right? Like, all of us old heads from Hagerstown.
And I'm sorry to cut you up, but think about how they are legends. Kicks are legends throughout Maryland, Baltimore, but then you take Hagerstown, which is a much smaller area, much smaller town, and of course, they are like the sons, of that town. the claim
I
to
think of
fame.
him and I think of Crumpy's Donuts is what I think of as I bring that up.
Shout out to Max Crumpy if you're listening to this.
All right, so I got an AI rock and roll story, and I want to involve John in this, and I hope I'm not getting Phil in too much trouble here, but I have this crazy rock and roll belt buckle collection. So today, for you, John, I wore...
Oh, he's dropping his pants.
Uh-oh.
I wore Bad Company today.
Nice.
I wore Bad Company, you know. I heard the song If You Needed Someone, which was the second singer after Paul Rodgers.
Yeah.
I heard that, and I looked up on my belt buckles, and I'm like, today's a Bad Company day. And it really has the Led Zeppelin eagle on it. If you look at it, it's pretty killer. It's killer deller. So I have these...
It's the label, Swan Song.
Swan Song?
Logo, yeah.
The Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Right. So...
Yeah.
And John, I picture a bourgeois at Nestor's house, right? Like you can picture him getting up in the morning, and it's a bourgeois of belt buckles,
a lot of velvet,
right? A velvet, like you know,
he's carpet.
He's working his hair, you know, he's working
it's just
his
a shag
mane,
carpet, man.
right?
You know,
and maybe I think he has a butler that shines up the belt buckles every morning and serves.
His wife.
He brings a silver platter
Once a
out
year,
with the belt buckles.
Once a year, we
right?
vacuum them.
You know,
rinse
and
them off.
that's how I feel. What happens if Nestor getting ready? In
I
the
don't know.
morning.
This thing is buffed, man. It's buffed to a high luster.
Yeah, it's nice, man. This is so. Do you want to tell people about Phil Weiser? Because he wanted to have pizza with us today.
Oh, yeah?
I think he grew up within a mile of here.
Yeah. He
was very jealous that we were eating Pizza John's pizza today. Like, I was going to take a picture of you and text it to him just to show you stuff in your face with meat sauce pizza. I don't know Phil. I don't know why I don't know Phil, but I don't think I've ever met Phil. I know of his name. I know of his legend through you.
Well.
And you can talk about your band and putting Child's Play back together and his role and Izzy's role and Nick's role and everybody in the band and how you're honoring Brian.
Well.
But Phil knew Brian well, yeah?
Yeah, well, the reason that you don't know Phil is because he was the smart one. He quit the band fairly early on to go to
and went into management.
Well, no, he continued his education. He went to University of Maryland, and then he went on to do his postgrad out on the West Coast. I think it was Stanford, maybe, and he met some guys who were starting a company, and this is right before Silicon Valley blew up huge. They started a little company called Liquid Audio. They were one of the first ones to do MP3s, and the company went public, and Phil, you know, he's a brilliant guy. He's very forward-thinking. He did grow up right here.
I love that he's forward-thinking because this is going to be a forward-thinking segment.
Yeah.
I love this.
He grew up here in Essex. Great guy. You know, he went to school with Brian, I think, since elementary school. And, he was one of the original guys that formed Child's Play. He was the original bass player. He, Brian, Larry Hinshaw, and they had a different drummer than me to begin with.
Did they play the Seagull?
Guy named Steve Albanak. And then after I joined the band, we played the Seagull a lot. We loved that place. It was, to me, it was the best room in town, really. Yeah, it was great. They had a balcony that cut across the middle of the club, and you would go up there, and there was a lot of shenanigans going on up in that balcony. You know, a lot of different substances being ingested. I remember one time I was standing at the foot of the stairs watching some band play, and unfortunately I was in shorts. And somebody threw up off the balcony and it splattered the back of my legs.
That's a Middleborough Road memory.
Really gross. Yeah.
That's one for you. Yeah.
Nanticoke Road. Yeah. It is now called Lunacies down there. But I haven't been in it yet. But the last time I was in that building, it was the River Watch. And it blew me away because the Seagull was, in my mind's eye, was big. You know, held like 700, 750, maybe 800 people. And you go in there now, or at least when it was the River Watch, they lowered the ceilings and they cut it up in these little rooms. I'm like, this can't be the same place, you know. The Seagull was legend, you know. Kicks played there all the time. They would always pack it out, sell it out. It's just an amazing place to see a band. It's
so
really
Phil
good.
is in your life, and
Back in
full disclosure, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ceremonies happened last year. Mm-hmm. You had told me for years you were going to go, and you took your wife. Nick took his wife, Jen, and Gina Schock, our mutual friend, was playing the drums for Cyndi Lauper.
Right.
And when the broadcast happened, you were on the floor eating some fillet mignon and drinking some
No.
sort of champagne from a flute or something like that.
No food was consumed.
It looks like a banquet.
No, not this time.
It looks like more of anything, more of everything.
This was a theater, a smaller venue. The one we went to when the Go-Go's were inducted, that was a sit down. It was in what used to be the Gund in Cleveland.
The Cavaliers Arena.
Yeah,
sure.
the big arena. And there were banquet tables, and they were bringing food like constantly. It was
right, more of everything.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I thought that's what you had this year.
Yeah,
well, either way, that's how he stays skinny. He's a rock star, John Allen here. So your buddy Phil is on the board of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right?
Yes.
All right, so here's where the AI story is going to come in and involve Ethan Giffin. So I've been bugging John since the night we were drinking wine together, and I wore my Led Zeppelin belt buckle. We went on eBay, and I bought my first Cars belt buckle about 5-6 years ago. So over the last 5 or 6 years, I've become not only about these. I have 1971 NFL belt buckles and Major League Baseball. I wore my Orioles one yesterday. It's not as shiny. It's more artsy with like paint.
Yeah.
And metal. Really cool, but not metallic looking, right?
Yeah, they're like enamel.
Yeah, exactly what they are.
I have one that was like from Sears.
They were all Sears. They were all Sears. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sears did the NFL and baseball.
cool.
Absolutely.
It's a Colts buckle, yeah.
I have a Baltimore. Okay, we have the same buckle. Probably 71 says on the back of it. So I have this collection of all the rock and roll buckles. And if you're unfamiliar with Pacifica belt buckles, you can Google it. It's a thing. All sorts of bands. Not Hall & Oates because they came a little later. There's no AC/DC because they came in like 80, 81. This was 75 to 79. Very, very specific. Stevie Wonder, yes. Ohio Players, yes. Wild Cherry, yes. Firefall.
Aerosmith, I have.
But all the big ones, right? Aerosmith, Kiss, Zeppelin, Skynyrd, Boston, Styx, Kansas. If they played it on 100 the Bay, no Doors, though. They were gone by then, right? They were kind of at it before MTV. So it's none of the disco.
Before the big resurgence.
Disco was Bee Gees, Casey and the Sunshine Band. Not much else. So a lot of classic rock. It was bought by Bill Aucoin and the Kiss people. AUCOIN is on the later ones. This is a 76. So this is a no bueno. The later ones all had Kiss's markings on it, or coin. So I've had these belt buckles, and you would agree, you've been to my, what did you call it, a boudoir?
Yeah.
There have been 10 of my best friends on earth have seen my belt buckles. They're the only people, other than seeing them when I wear them one at a time, there have been 10 people, including John, that have been into my office where I have adorned my area with them, right? And they're really effing cool. And when the sun hits them, they're cool, right? They're fun. And nobody sees them and says, well, they're not cool.
No, it's absolutely cool.
Tommy Conwell came into my office because he left his merch at the Wrecker and he had to drive down on he came in and wouldn't leave my office. Like, he was like, I'm like, Tom, you want some coffee? He's like, oh, man, this Cheap Trick one's killer, man. And so anyway, even rock stars like my buckles. So I have them all, and I'm thinking, this is nice that I've been looking at them. It's nice that I collected them. It's nice that they're going up in value. It's nice that my wife can be helpful in making them nicer. It's great. But what the F am I going to do with them, you know? And I thought, these things should be like in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I've thought this for 3 years, 4 years. I thought, I should present these. If they were baseball object, I would give them to the Babe Ruth Museum and say, put them out for a year. Make a display around them. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I just think it's a good idea, and 90% of the bands are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? Enter John Allen and your pal who sits on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame board. So earlier in the week, I hit you. You hit me. You sent me his number. I text him. He texts me back. He's playing the bass in your studio the other day. I text him, and I'm like, look, I want to get serious about this rock and roll. Like, you're alive, I'm alive, you're on the board, I got these things. Let's at least hear a good no for why 250 really cool Rock and Roll Hall of Fame belts that all look as cool as this. This band's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? So this would be a neat display. Maybe it's in 2031 for a year, whatever. Maybe I get to, now that I found that there's no meal involved with the Hall of Fame, I won't even ask for tickets for that, Phil. So 3 nights ago, I text Phil, and he's rehearsing with you. He texts me back a very 2 sentences, 3 sentences, and I can even read this to you because it was like, it was very not Essex. It was very like, you know, rock and roll executive, like he's done something in his life. So Weiser writes me back.
Oh, he's the chief technical officer for Paramount.
See, I knew you would know.
So he's not.
So his chief technical writes me back. I'm not sure where to go with this. This is an AI story in the end. This is the quote. The Rock Hall is a museum of artifacts from music history. Given that, how would I pitch this to them? And I'm thinking, well, they're really cool, man, and they're rock and roll belts, man. And, they're really killer. And if you smoked a joint outside, long live rock, you go in there and say, man, that Cars belt's cool, man. And I'm thinking, how do I write that in some sort of way to what is he, the CEO or the Paramount?
Chief technical
chief, whatever
CTO.
he is. How do I write that to him? So you know what I did? At 5 a.m., I put into my AI exactly what he asked for, exactly what I have. And if you would have told me 8 months ago that AI was going to blow my mind to this degree, how do you think that turned out when I put that into AI? This thing popped out a complete deep dive on every single thing about my belts. It wrote a curatorial treatment of the relevance of my belts as rock and roll artifacts. At the beginning of merchandising, which brings Groove Commerce in to say, I got this cool logo in this Eagles Hotel California, and we sold 10 million albums. What else could we sell? I guess they didn't think of a T-shirt. And they thought, well, put the album on a belt buckle and people could wear it. Wearable merch,
Let me
literally.
ask you a question. Remember the little T-shirt stand in the middle of East Point Mall that did the iron-on?
Sure, Ocean City had those too.
Right,
Yeah.
but the one I remember the one specifically at East Point Mall.
I got Farrah Fawcett on that one.
Right, well, they had band T-shirts there. They had the iron-ons, so there was a little bit of merchandising going on. I swear they had the belt buckles there for sale. Maybe.
I bought mine at
few.
KB.
KB Toy and Hobby.
Toy in East Point Mall is
Okay.
where I bought my
All
Zeppelin
right.
belt buckle.
Really?
Probably 79 or 80. I was in like 7th or 8th grade. I bought that belt. It was the only one I ever owned. He and I went partying one night down in Columbia years ago, and he saw the belt and said, you said you had Stevie Wonder,
I do.
Aerosmith,
Yeah.
and Zeppelin.
Right.
He has a different Zeppelin. When he has the Zeppelin, the actual
Right.
Zeppelin landing for like Zeppelin 1 or 2, whatever album that was. I have this really holographic disco. I have the Swan Song guy, like the naked dude with the eagle wings. So I've had this belt for 50 years, and I've collected these things, and now they're 50 years old. All of these bands are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're really hard to get. And I think it's an awesome display. And in 57 seconds, my AI clone wrote me a complete curatorial treatment. I then copied and pasted the email. Phil doesn't know this. You know now, Phil. But I literally copied and pasted the letter that it told me to write to Phil, and I'm going to read it to you. Phil, executive, what's his title again?
Chief
Phil Weiser?
technical officer.
Dear C-level executive with major music operative corporate
CTO.
thing, on behalf of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Jan Wenner, I've been thinking seriously, that's my part in this, about how to frame my Pacifica Rock and Roll belt buckle collection for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, not as a collector's item pitch, but as a museum artifact story. And this thing went on to talk about the concepts of the exhibit, where your record collection. The collection could support several Rock Hall-friendly themes. Music merchandising before the modern merch economy. Record stores as youth culture gathering places. Album art and band logos as wearable design. Late 70s fan identity across Kiss, Queen, Bowie, Fleetwood Mac, Boston Wings, ZZ Top, Van Halen, Styx, Zeppelin, and many other. The visual crossover of glam, disco, arena rock, denim, and pop art. The licensing business story behind the music merchandising in the 70s. Peter Frampton sued Radio Shack over these, overselling them with his name on it.
Wow.
Personal collection's real. I was a music critic back in the day. I've collected these. I worked at Soundways East Point Mall. We sold these back in the day as well. Let me know how you could help me. I believe the collection could make a colorful, accessible, highly photogenic exhibit or case installation, the kind of thing that stops people in their tracks in the Rock Hall and teaches them something about how rock fans expressed identity in the late 1970s. I didn't write a damn word of that, and you can tell Weiser that my clone wrote that. And if I ever get these things in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, My clone was the reason it took the curatorial lane. AI, baby.
AI.
What do you?
AI.
Did you like that story? I was
Yeah,
going to tell you that
great.
story off the air.
No, it's great.
But now I've told you that story. So there's your AI.
Very cool.
You've been using AI music at all?
No. Did he respond?
Hell no. He's too busy. He's a C-level. He's
He
working on a
is-
gig. Tell him about the gig he's working on. Child's Play.
Saying C-level sounds bad. He's a chief technical officer.
Chief.
He's like, yeah,
Chief.
he's up there.
That's C-level.
Oh, okay.
C-level chief, technical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When's your band playing? Give everybody Child's Play thing. I'm going to let
So
Ethan get out
Child's
of it.
Play will be at Reckless Shepherd Brewery out in Columbia on May the 30th.
It's next to the Wegmans.
We're doing, it's behind
Yeah.
it. We're doing a memorial Brian show. It'll be, I'm working on a video, a documentary of sorts, kind of.
Updating what you had before?
Yeah.
The last thing you did
just,
was beautiful,
Just talking
man.
about. Well, thank you. I mean, in fact, being here at Pizza John's is. I didn't even think about it until you were mentioning how this is where the
band meetings
the band
here.
really started. No, we didn't have band meetings here, but Child's Play really got their start because of a guy was pulling out of Pizza John's and he T-boned Brian's 1967 Chevelle, and the insurance money bought Child's Play's first PA gear that they used in their practice space.
He traded in his car for a band.
He didn't trade it in. Somebody totaled it. This old man ran into his car, and the money that he got from it, he took and he bought PA speakers and I think a head, and it helped them, out getting off the ground, practicing.
That sounds like a Springsteen song. Hey, man, they wrecked my car, so I had to start a band.
That's how it happened, man.
You got some rock. I know you got to get out of here, Ethan.
yeah,
Go ahead. What do you
yeah.
got, man? You good?
I'm good.
Your book,
I'm
Closing the
good.
Digital Revenue Gap. Ethan's my friend. DJ
Yeah, check it
OP, lover of all things yacht rock. You can find him at Groove Commerce. He's anywhere that the internet is sold. Is that
All right,
fair enough
thank
to
you,
say?
Ness. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Great meeting
Sean,
you, man.
Great to meet you. Great
Next
to
time
talk.
we get
Yep.
together, we'll get Crumpy's Donuts after 7 p.m.
See you in Hagerstown, May 29th.
Oh.
Stone Horses.
Yes.
We're playing at Hub City Live.
Awesome.
Good gig for
Vinyl.
you, right? You love
That's
that
awesome.
joint, right?
They're
Love
selling
it.
that place. That place is sold. It's a beautiful little spot there.
It's fantastic. The owner, half of it is the vinyl record store, and then they took the other half of the building and they created two venues, one smaller one and one bigger one, and we played it last year right after Thanksgiving, and it was fantastic. This year we're going to have Ronnie Youngkins from Kicks. We were talking about Kicks. He's supporting our band, and he and I are going to do a little Kicks tribute where we do several Kicks songs.
Blow my fuse. You got nothing to lose. Let's go.
During his set, so that should be fun. So
There you go. Awesome.
So hope to
Awesome.
see you there,
Yeah,
man.
cheers.
Take
Cheers.
care.
Very nice to
I
meet
want to
you.
see you do For Shame, just so
I love that song.
I want you to do that song.
be great.
Ethan Giffin's here, Johnson. We're going to take a break because I'm going to eat some of John's pizza. We're Pizza John's in Essex. It's all brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery, GBMC. And last but not least, Farland and Dermer. They're our HVAC and our plumbing specialists. Back for more. I'm going to work on my plumbing. I'm going to use the restroom, get some pizza, and come back and talk some rock and roll with John Allen from Child's Play. And Stone Horses and the new song. We're going to get